Vine closed her eyes. The cold barrel of the gun against her chin was making it hard for her. Vine, I will explain. Please, move it away. Surprisingly, he did put the gun away, and John Jungkook never backs down from his move. Vine, I didn't know she was the daughter of a mafia. I. It's embarrassing, but it is what it is. I didn't kidnap her or something. I brought her only for 1 hour. It's just some kind of baby fever I have. People don't understand and call me stupid, but I can't explain it to them. Vine, I get so attracted to babies and always end up getting in troubles. Jungkook, and you go around kidnapping random babies? Vine hissed. He made it sound so awkward and bad. Vine, no, it's my third time. First two times, I just took my aunt's little bun and went around for a ride. Then when I came back, there was police all over the area looking for him. Jungkook scoffed. He thought his daughter was kidnapped by his rivals until he got the location for the home and the owner, who was a university graduate. No criminal records. It could be a persona, but looking at her, he could tell she had no ill intentions. Stepping near her again, he placed his gun this time against her temple. Jungkook, stay away from her. Next time, I won't be entertaining the idea of leaving you alive. She threw her hands in air, surrendering, and he turned. Sweat trickled down her back out of fear. They both heard the yells of his daughter, Ella. She stepped inside, and the guard, who was her caretaker, came after her, looking at Jungkook apologetically. But as he tried to hold Ella, she started screaming again. One spoiled brat, Wine considered her. She tiptoed cutely towards the table as her father watched her every move. She picked up the empty ice cream bowl and looked up at Wine with her innocent, big, duo eyes. Those eyes were Wine's biggest weakness. Wine, you want more ice cream? Ella winced, shaking the ice cream bowl around, and Wine stole a glance at his father, more like for his permission. Jungkook, did you make her hairstyle? Wine, huh? Yes. Jungkook, can you make more of them? She blinked her eyes and knelt beside Ella to comfort the winning baby. Wine, yes, lots of them. She cupped her cheeks daringly, even though she knew her father could simply shoot her on the spot. Wine, you can't have that much ice cream. It's not good. Jungkook, would you like to be her caretaker? Vine blinked her eyes and looked up to see if he was serious. Oh, he was. No humor on his face as he picked up Ella by his one strong arm. Jungkook, don't look at me like that. It's a job offer. Of course, you'll get paid. Vine, I would do that for her for free. And you need to stop carrying that gun around the children. Ella pinched his cheeks and cupped them, then kissed them, being in her own world. She really loved her father, didn't she? And Jungkook, that big, rough guy, looked all soft with his daughter in his arms. Jungkook, why does that matter? Ryan, you're joking, right? No, he wasn't. It didn't look like he was joking. Ryan, it's a bad influence for the children. But you taught her good self defense. I will give you that. Jungkook scoffed, his eyes took in her details big brown eyes, round button nose, and plum lips. Her skin had slightly brown shade and freckles around her cheeks. She was adorable and clearly not afraid of death by the way she was talking back to him like no one else. Wine. So, it means I can play with her? Jungkook. Do you even know how to grow up, kids? I'm not hiring you to play with her. That's only one part. I want you to grow up her in her nice person. Unlike you. Wine. That's offending. She sighed. Yes, okay. I'll do that. Do you want to take an interview or something now? You're the one who offered though. Jungkook. Come along. He walked out and Wine grabbed her jacket, putting it on, and rushed after him. Getting in the car beside him, Jungkook placed Ella on his lap, who played with his tie. Wine. She is surprisingly calm around you. Jungkook. She's my daughter. Wine. And who are you? I mean, I should know who I am working for. Jungkook. He said and took out his card and slipped it in her lap. She read it and her eyes turned the size of saucers. Jungkook. The mafia. Holy crow. Wine. Oh, I see. Her fear disappeared as quickly as it came, and she tickled Ella, who laughed in his lap. The kid turned around towards Wyan, and the two started to play and laugh around. That's the most he saw his daughter laughing in a week, like she did in 5 minutes. They reached his mansion, and Jungkook went inside with Ella, leaving Wyan to gawk at his huge home. Jungkook, remember this. She is my only daughter. A little hurt, a little raise of voice, or anything wrong towards her. I won't hesitate to blow your brains out. Wyan, you shouldn't talk murder in front of your daughter. Jungkook inhaled, surprisingly, didn't pull the trigger, and left, leaving his daughter with her. He was mad as he entered his room with this new information. Apparently, Ella goes to walk daily with a whole ton of army, whereas her caretaker stays with her. The rest of the guards stays in shadows to not disturb the general public and her time alone. She might be a toddler, but she got the treatment of a queen. He found out the army was missing all on the orders of the caretaker, who told them it was Jungkook's order. Why? Because he had to meet his so called girlfriend, as if that was more important than his daughter. He was mad, and he pulled the trigger. He took a cold shower to calm himself, and all he thought was how his crazy he went at the news that Ella was missing. She was all he had. He blinked, and then the vision of mine came up. Why was he thinking about her? Her big eyes, plum lips, curly hair. Why does it matter? Why couldn't he stop thinking about her? The cold shower didn't help. He stepped out again and found Ella sitting on couch, a plate in front of her which had chocolate and wine missing. Surprisingly, Ella didn't even touch the chocolate, and he probably was dreaming to believe it was true. He was about to step towards her, but Wine came out of nowhere and held his arm. Wine, don't. If she doesn't eat that chocolate till I return, she will get two, she whispered, and Jungkook somehow liked her touch on his arm. Jungkook, she is a toddler. She can't understand. He grunted. Wine, well, she did. You can see, your child is smarter than other kids her age. It didn't take me long to realize that. How come you never noticed? Jungkook, I should get her checkup. Wine, you should. She's smart. He crossed his arms and leant against the pillar, letting Wine do whatever experiment she wanted done on his daughter. He looked at Wine again and regretted because he couldn't look away after that. She was attracting him, and he needed to control himself. In his absent state of mind, he stroked her hair and only realized when she jumped. Jungkook pulled his hand away immediately and looked at his watch. It's been 20 minutes. She went to Ella, and his daughter bounced happily, taking her reward and eating it up without a second. Her love for sweets. They looked like a mother and her loved child. How he wished his ex wife didn't mess up. He didn't have to kill her just because she sold his information to his rival. He went to couch and took a seat. Ella instantly got on his lap and shared the last bite of her sweet with him. Jungkook, thank you, princess. She giggled happily and he kissed her cheek, his one arm on the back of the couch, and he played Barbie on LED for her. She watched happily and he looked at Mayan, who sat there awkwardly for a few minutes before she got involved in movie too. She was laughing and commenting at every person and scene and involved Ella. Even if the child didn't understand, she laughed and yelled along. It was like a family, a happy one. Jungkook, I thought that's for kids. Why? What's for adults then? They can watch and enjoy it too, instead of sitting there for 2 hours getting bored. She pointed at him, and he raised a brow at the challenge. He held her wrist and pulled her towards him, and shock fell all over her face. He then held her jaw and moved his face towards hers dangerously. Jungkook, don't you talk a little too much? Makes me want to do so much with that mouth. He licked his lips and stared down at her lips. Wine curved and balled her fist. His gun was there at the table, and he could blow her brain any time he wanted. He leaned even closer and whispered in her hair. Jungkook, or shall I quiet you down forever? To be continued.